You may even doubt it, but there's something in you that speaks before your mouth opens. And it's not your perfume. Women, and even men, can feel when a man carries retained vital energy. It's not mystical talk or conspiracy theory. It's biology, it's vibration, it's instinct. When you are in hold, your body emits subtle signals that alter your presence. The posture changes. The look penetrates. The speech gains strength. Believe me, retention has a smell, it has weight, it has an impact. The world taught you that to be desired, you need to have money, beauty, or status. But what if I told you that there was another kind of power, quieter, more primal, that activated something deep in the people around you? A power that cannot be faked, that comes straight from the source, from the creator of the universe. And the crazy thing, you don't need years of practice to feel the effects. Within a few days of retention, your magnetism begins to rise, and the environment responds. If you've ever noticed that some people seem to have something different, an almost hypnotic presence, perhaps now you understand why. They carry accumulated energy. They do not leak their power. And you can do the same. But to do this, you need to understand how this energy works, and how to use it to your advantage to generate inner peace, light in the eyes, and prosperity in all areas of life. The question is, are you ready to discover this secret that no one told you? For a long time, he believed that the key to attracting women was the right haircut, expensive clothes, or defined physique. But, over time, and with many falls along the way, see that true magnetism is not in the mirror, but in the internal fire. A man may not even have the form of respect, but if he carries within himself the strength of purpose, the determination that comes from the creator of the universe, he becomes a magnet. It is as if a silent peace envelopes your presence, and everyone around feels it without a word being spoken. Appearance still counts, of course, but it certainly doesn't matter to anyone around. He realized that when he knew intensely and was clear about his projects, his ideas, and his mission, people's views changed. It wasn't about being pretty. It was about being whole. The sparkle in the eyes, the firm voice, the body aligned with a light that came from within, that was impossible to ignore. And look, this doesn't have to be too mystical. Try observing someone who loves what they do, who talks about their dream as if it were already reality. There's something there that's contagious. This is true prosperity, a state of mind that emanates security and energy. True beauty lies in the vital energy that overflows from those who live with purpose. Have you ever seen a simple man who dominates an entire room with just his presence? That's what we're talking about. When he understood this, he stopped spending money trying to improve his outward image and started investing time in connecting with his mission. Read books like The Man in Search of Meaning by Viktor Frankl, and discovered that appearance may be an invitation, but it is the purpose that keeps the table full. And it was in this search that, unintentionally, he stumbled upon a concept that would change everything. In the midst of chaos, when life seemed like a maze with no way out, he stumbled, almost by accident, on the concept of semen retention. I had no idea what it was, but something about that practice called to it. It started as a curiosity experiment and ended as an internal revolution. Within a few days, he felt an increase in vital energy that didn't come from coffee or cheap motivation. It was something deeper, as if he was reconnected with the original source, the creator of the universe moving within him. The most curious thing is that the changes were not just in the personal field. Men began to respect him more. Women started to look at him differently. He even doubted it at first. But it wasn't his head playing tricks, it was real. It was as if a new vibrational frequency had been activated. A pulsating peace settled in his eyes, a type of light that cannot be seen, but felt. This wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. It was raw alchemy, transforming instinct into prosperity. He remembers a specific day. He was in line at a bakery, without saying anything to anyone. A woman turned and looked at him as if she were seeing something rare. It wasn't the perfume. It wasn't the clothes. It was the energy. He had become magnetic. This sparked a new obsession, understanding how retention affected not only his body, but his mind and soul. And the deeper I went, the more I realized that this wasn't about holding on without coming. It was about dominance. And what he started to feel, no one had told him in the motivational videos. Something magical started to happen. People just felt your presence. And the crazy thing is, he wasn't trying. He didn't force conversations, He didn't pose, he didn't change his voice. It was raw desire, channeled, alive, ignited, that overflowed. The body spoke before the words. His eyes shone with an intensity that was impossible to ignore. It was as if the very energy of the creator of the universe flowed through his veins and said, "He is ready." O world reacted. This energy was not aggressive, but rather primitive. The looks lingered longer on him. Conversations gained more attention. He realized that, even in silence, he transmitted something that went beyond the ordinary. Biological desire, when not wasted, became a kind of natural radar, something that connected people on an instinctive level. It was the peace of someone who is centered, with a touch of tension that sparks curiosity. The truth is that the human body recognizes this long before the mind. He began to use this strength consciously. When we talked about a project, their work, or even just casual chat, people didn't just listen, they felt. It was as if a warm light emanated from his voice. This, he learned, wasn't just libido. It was accumulated creative power. The kind of prosperity that doesn't come from luck, but from discipline. From then on, each interaction became a laboratory. And eye contact became something that deserved special attention. During his marathon preparation, he noticed something that went beyond muscle and endurance. People's eyes were starting to find him more often. Strangers, who previously just walked past, now held their gaze for a few seconds longer. It wasn't arrogance, it was perception. What had changed wasn't the environment, it was him. His internal state was different. There was a pulsating peace inside him that was reflected in his eyes, a calm certainty that came straight from the creator of the universe. He started testing this in different places. At the market, at the gym, even in the elevator. And the pattern repeats itself. More smiles, more openness, more conversation. It was as if people were instinctively more interested in trusting him. The retention had altered not only his energy levels, but his magnetic field. Eye contact stopped being uncomfortable and became a real connection. A silent exchange of light between two beings. A language that does not use words, but that transforms environments. This made me understand something powerful. Eye contact is a mirror of the soul. When we are disconnected, we avoid facing each other. But when we carry spiritual prosperity and high vital energy within us, our eyes speak for us. If you want to test this, try walking with your spine straight, breathing deeply, and looking into people's eyes gently and firmly. The difference in occurrence will be instantaneous. And it was this simple but profound discovery that led to a new level of expression, especially online. It was only when he resumed his prevention practice that his channel really changed. Before, he even spoke well, had good themes, but he lacked strength, he lacked soul. With the sexual energy transmuted, his words began to carry weight. Each phrase came with intention, with presence, with the breath of the creator of the universe behind it. The content became more direct, more intense, and the public felt it. The piece that was previously timid was now mixed with a leadership energy that no one could ignore. Videos became more than just tips. They were almost fake internal fire. It was as if he was not just teaching, but awakening who watched. The difference was in the energy behind the camera. And that's when he had a breakthrough. If he could achieve this turnaround, others could too. This is how the idea for his group coaching academy was born. A space to transform ordinary creators into channels full of light, magnetism, and of course. Because, in the end, what connects isn't the technique, it's the truth behind the voice. In the group, he shows how to apply retention not only to the body, but to the content. How to hold back the impulse to post out of anxiety and wait for the right moment. How to align ideas with a greater purpose. How to transform each video into an act of spiritual prosperity. And the coolest thing, students studied growing up. Not just in numbers, but in awareness. And all of this was just the beginning, because the more desire he channeled, the more creativity was born from within. He once read in the book The Way of the Superior Man that sexual desire, when well channeled, is not just for having sex, it is for creating. And it blew his mind. It was as if all that strength that previously escaped on impulse was now transformed into ideas, solutions, bold decisions. He understood that desire does not need to be denied, but dominated. And that mastery comes from connecting with something greater, the creator of the universe breathing inspiration at the right time. It was an invisible but powerful fuel. Suddenly, writing was easier. Recording videos flowed. Ideas would simply come to you while you were taking a shower, washing dishes, or walking down the street. It was as if there was a creative center running 24 hours inside him. And the detail, it wasn't just creativity, it was courage too. That inner peace, coming from retention, gave me strength to take risks, to expose myself more, to say what I needed to be here. It was as if the light of purpose illuminated even the darkest corners of fear. He started an experiment. He wrote scripts with more depth, launched products that previously only existed on paper, and made partnerships that called for boldness. It was as if creativity was an extension of his desire, only now, directed by spiritual intelligence. And the most incredible thing, the more he created, the more doors opened. Creative prosperity attracts opportunities, money, connections. But he knew that all this was just a reflection of a desire that had found a new path. And that path was just beginning to expand. He saw something curious. All the attention he received, all the sexual tension in the air, could be used as a springboard. I'm not going to run away from it, or worry about it. Just redirect. Instead of wasting that energy on empty distractions, he began to channel it into what really mattered. It turned attraction into action. It was as if the creator of the universe said, use this as fuel, not as escape. And that's exactly what he did. The presence of beautiful women, once a distraction, now serves as a reminder of your potential. Every look, every interaction, was a chance to strengthen his focus. He understood that desire is a spring. The longer you hold on, the more strength it gains. And by redirecting this force, internal peace increased. He felt out of control. And this control became motivation to train harder, study with more focus, produce with more purpose. Voltage, when used well, becomes a light that drives, not burns. He even started using this as a strategy. Before December, I would go out for a walk and absorb the energy of the street, the looks, the life happening. He returned with hot blood and serious intensity. It was like converting sexual energy into creative energy, an alchemical process. And the more he practiced this, the more prosperity he reaped. More productivity, clearer, more results. It was as if he had discovered a superpower hidden within himself. And this superpower had a direct connection with the famous law of attraction. He started connecting the dots. Every time he maintained high levels of retention, it seemed like the universe was conspiring in his favor. Coincidences happened, doors opened, ideas flowed easily. It wasn't magic, it was energy. Holding raised your vibration, literally. And in this state, he felt more connected to the creator of the universe, as if he were plugged directly into the cosmic socket. Life was lighter, but also more powerful. People asked, but how are you achieving so much in so little time? The answer was simple. He was carrying desire in his veins. And this desire was not lost in fleeting pleasures. He was targeted. He was vivid with peace, without anxiety. Retention worked like a spiritual magnet, attracting opportunities compatible with your new vibrational state. The light he carried put him in resonance with the right people, ideas, and situations, at the right time. It was in this state that he made his biggest leaps forward, closing unexpected deals, multiplying his income, creating projects with real impact. It wasn't just productivity, it was synchronicity. And he understood that the more internal desire, the more strength of external manifestation. True prosperity came from the inside out. And that changed everything. But he knew it wasn't enough just to feel. It was necessary to keep that energy moving. And to do that, he needs to learn to build something that few people master. Momentum. What started as retention turned into something much bigger. Momentum. He realized that by keeping his energy high for days, weeks, months, everything around him aligned. It was as if each right choice led to another, creating a dominating effect of victories. And that wasn't just discipline, it was intention. He acted with focus, with clarity, with a direct connection with the creator of the universe. And when this connection strengthens, even what they call luck becomes something predictable. He started making faster, more accurate decisions. Stopped procrastinating. He stopped doubting himself. The energy accumulated through retention created an internal peace field where fear was not located in space. It was as if the mind, body, and soul were playing at the same time. And when that happens, the doors open in privacy. The inner light illuminates the path, and what seemed difficult before now flowed lightly. He wasn't just chasing his dreams, he was pulled by them. His life became a magnet for opportunities. New contacts, unexpected collaborations, money coming from where he least imagined. It was prosperity showing its purest face, what comes when you are aligned with your truth. And most importantly, he understood that the secret was not just retain, but knowing how to use that energy with purpose. It was then that he decided to help others build that same state of ongoing strength. And for that, I created tools that helped him maintain this lifestyle. He knew that relying on willpower alone was not sustainable. So, he looked for ways to stay focused, and that's when his habit monitoring app was born, Transmutation. Nothing fancy, nothing full of frills, just the essentials. A way to keep your eyes on what matters every day. Because when you have the creator of the universe as the center and a clear system, the journey becomes lighter. Discipline becomes a habit, not torture. In the app, he tracked everything from retention time to small daily goals, reading, meditation, exercise. With a few clicks, you can view your progress. And most importantly, you can maintain mental peace, even on the most chaotic days. Technology, when used with purpose, becomes an ally of the soul. He combined this with a weekly newsletter where he sent insights, challenges, and reflections to keep the flame burning. A constant reminder that the light needs maintenance. These tools weren't just strategies, they were shields against distraction. While the world screamed for instant pleasure, he chose constant prosperity. And when he saw other people using the app, applying the practices, transforming their routines, he discovered that this mission was collective. One step a day, one habit at a time. And when you combine retained energy, clear direction, and the right tools, you become unstoppable. But the most curious detail of all this is that there is something that women pick up on before you even say a word. Now that you understand what's behind retention and how it changes everything, your energy, your presence, your opportunities, tell me, are you going to continue wasting your power as if it were worthless? Are you going to continue believing that the secret is in expensive sneakers, a new tattoo, or a temporary shape, while the real strength is there inside you, waiting to be used? What if everything you seek, respect, attraction, clarity, purpose, peace, was hidden in this simple act of self-control? What if the key to your light was, precisely, to stop giving in to impulse and start using your energy with intention? What would change if you, for 30 days, held this power and transformed it into prosperity? If this made sense to you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell, because here, we go deep into these topics that few have the courage to touch on. And tell me in the comments, what was the part that got you the most today? Let's grow together, brother. Your journey has only begun.